Flashing on air.
I think she's
phone.
Is our fire chief coming, or do you know?
He's not coming tonight.
They said days 3 and 4.
I seen him somewhere today. I can't remember where it was.
I think she had it Friday.
I
So
wouldn't
she's
know.
in play around, maybe she should be
I wouldn't know.
starting to feel
Are we on there? Can't tell.
It's counting up, so I guess it
It
is.
says we're on there.
Michelle,
Looky there, he said he wasn't gonna be here.
there you go.
I'm a little concerned that he skipped a dentist appointment.
He was off a month.
Huh?
He was off a month. He just told me.
Oh.
Oh.
It's time.
It is time. Right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome everyone to our August meeting. We have a special order of business, public hearing, DCD.
Okay, so we're here for 334 Hendrick Street. We have not had any contact with the owner. We tried to set up an inspection on July 9th, but he didn't show up. With the holes in the roof, we have to assume that the inside is
Not good.
not good. Yeah.
Been leaking a long time.
Yeah.
Looks like there, I don't want to interrupt you, looks like there was a tarp on there at one time that's completely deteriorated.
There
so
was one.
It takes years or months for the tarp to deteriorate at that point, so I think it's been leaking for a very long time with the eaves and everything else that's missing on it, and it looks like there might be some animal infestation too. Getting in and out of it, so. We've got pictures here if you guys want to see them.
Thank you.
So we recommend demolition.
What those taken.
July.
So you issued the order?
Yep.
Oh, that's even worse than what I realized.
Yeah, the whole roof is in that one.
Yeah.
Gracious.
And that's the best we can do without getting inside. So legally, we can't go in and
Okay.
get too close to
I
it.
can only imagine what it's like with a hole in the roof though.
Yeah.
That's a big hole.
Yeah.
Is that listed as to an individual or an agency? Do we know?
The owner is.
Individual.
It's an individual.
Okay.
Hendrick Street.
So what do you need from them?
We just
So
approve
we,
that?
in our order, we did, which I probably should have sent over. now that we recommended that it be demolished by September 22nd of this year, and you guys can modify that.
Do you still do what you did before where you guys take the bids?
Yes,
Okay. So you just need approval from the council to move ahead?
yeah. So, and I think that you guys will pay for it to get demolished if he does not
Yes.
do it himself,
And then a
and then
lien.
we'll put a lien on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has there been any contact, or was it like certified mail and
Yep,
all
certified
that
mail,
stuff?
no contact whatsoever.
Okay.
But the September 22nd date is still going to be, when you bid it, that's what you bid it for?
Yeah, if the house is still there after September 22nd,
Okay.
we'll, if that's what you guys want.
That's fine with me.
Yes.
Do we need motion on that?
I'll make a motion to do away with it.
I'll second the doing away with.
Now, these funds are in the community, or the capital funds. We've always carried funds in there for demolition.
We need a-
Okay, Ron,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
and Steve.
Yep.
Okay, I just need you to sign this. And I'll just let him, this is, I'll send this out, letting him know that you guys upheld the order. Is that okay?
Do you know roughly how many demos are being done and
Well, I think, you want to sign on
Oh.
this side? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I did not catch that. I apologize.
how many demos have done in Huntington County, do you know roughly? Demolitions?
None this year.
None this year.
so far, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
most times we can
surprising.
work with the homeowners and,
They're able to do something.
be able to do something, and we'll give them time to do that before we make it formal.
But then just having no,
Kind of saves the taxpayer money when they cooperate, but when somebody doesn't show up, it just makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
They are
They'll have
working
a
on the
choice.
house on
We
11th
just put a
Street.
lien on the property.
It's,
11th Street they
So
are?
if it's
Yes.
sold.
Oh, good.
somebody was in this afternoon and
Well,
said
it'd
they've
be
been
a
working to
lot.
demolish
Yeah,
it.
lot. At
Good.
that point,
And
yeah.
then Matilda Street,
Which
I
is
know
nice
he's working on it.
They cleaned up the yard and what, I don't know what all of it.
I think he was working on taking down that
Yeah, you
shed.
sure? Okay. So that was good news. Okay.
Thank you.
So our next meeting would be August the 11th, right?
No.
This is the 11th.
8th,
September the 8th. This is August.
September 8th.
I am so confused on these, September 8th. will
Well,
be
you
our
just
next
confused
meeting.
me asking. I don't know what
I've been
today is.
dealing
If
with
it's the
dates in the
11th.
future till night I've regressed. September 8th. It's when the bids can be reviewed.
So we won't be able to get them out until after September
Okay.
22nd.
That's
So,
fine.
It's gonna be October.
yeah.
That's fine.
Good enough.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, that's
Okay.
it from us.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
We have the minutes for the regular meeting, June 14th, and special meeting, July 1st. Any additions or corrections? Citizens' comment. Any or all?
In reference to your truck ordinance that you adopted, when are they going to put up the no truck signs on those streets?
Some of them have them, there may be a couple that probably doesn't.
Two of them at the beginning, Matilda and the beginning of Seventh is only in the beginning, the rest of them don't have any. The reason I'm asking because they're driving over your curbs.
You know,
Several times on 7th Street. Okay. But there's only two signs up that stand, they're still coming and going.
Do we have,
I will check our signs inventory. I don't think we have any, and I need to get with Lee to figure out who you got signs from and get those taken care of.
okay.
He had ordered some, that's not before it was official, but there's quite a few that still need
Thank you.
Yeah.
Police department.
You have your monthly report there. Austin went and tested with the Huntington City applicants yesterday, and he passed everything as far as the written and physical agility. So
Awesome.
that was our requirement for the agreement with him. So he put his 2 weeks in yesterday, so we should be able to start the 25th. So we'll probably go down and get some uniforms and start getting him outfitted.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
Fire department.
He reported that they've added 3 to the roster. He couldn't make it tonight, but he'll present a roster at the next meeting. That 3 more have been added to the roster.
Utility street manager.
We had a water main break July 15th on 218 East First Street, and since it was on the state highway, we had bowlingers come in and take care of that. Just shut down one lane for about 6 hours, but they got that taken care of, and we got that road patch done by Hasties at the end of the month. Aside from that, we had TMB come in and fix a metering problem at Heritage Point, and we got a couple of transformers and pads we need to change out at Heritage Point upcoming. Be putting an order in here pretty soon to get that taken care of. Other than that, everything's just been hit and go as things come up and take care of things.
Good. Anything else, Dustin?
That should do it.
Unfinished business?
Well, unfinished is just a reminder that the electric rate ordinance, the public hearing is set for September 8th. And the ordinance has already been adopted, so it was adopted July, or introduced, excuse me, not adopted, introduced in July. So public hearing is September 8th. And well, I thought I brought extras to give to people, but apparently I didn't. Anyway, it's a $5 increase for residential every year for 5 years. So that's the basics of it, and Greg Garatage will be here that night. A Veterans Park update. Bonnie did bring a page. I put it in your packet. And you can see that the benches were donated. That was by the DeWeese family and the Boulder family. And the placards, it gives the cost of those were $17.50 each. The bronze plaque for the stone was donated by Glancy Funeral Home at $585. And the signage was done by Michael McLean of Montpelier in the amount of $2,320, and that was donated by Citizens Telephone. And the large rock donated by a local farmer at no cost. And the other update is all the flags have been replaced. And so, Dustin, do you have any?
I mean, the brick guy should be here, sometime this month?
Sometime, he said the early August, so it must be middle August. Yeah. But yeah, for the first 50.
So we have 50 right now. Is that how many
We
orders?
have 135 right now.
Orders.
But we've sent him 50.
Okay.
And then when he gets those done, we'll send the next 50. And then we have another 30 or 35 in the next group ready.
In the next group, okay. 'Cause Bonnie had asked me a question, and I think that was it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, Dustin, I'm glad Dustin's here. I think I sent this to you, but back in 2023, the State Revolving Loan Fund, Indiana Finance Authority, asked if the town of Warren would be interested in participating in the pilot program on testing for PFAS, which are contaminants coming into the water, natural, not natural. Explain what a PFAS is.
It's a, I don't know what you want to call it. They use it for just a lot of chemical productions. Basically, my best understanding is like, you know how you get a wrapper for your cheeseburger from McDonald's, and it's kind of got that coating on it, so the grease kind of stays contained. It's kind of that product, but somehow, some way, you can get in the water system. And so with this pilot program, it's funding to test for that and then make any corrections we need to get rid of that.
So you as counsel, or who was on council 2 years ago after your financial consultant Greg and the engineer Ben looked through it all and talked with SRF, you guys had signed an agreement to be a part of the pilot program, but then EPA didn't fund the program like they thought they would that year, so now it's been funded. And so we just received word and that allocated to the town of Warren is $1,170,378. Now it's in steps. So the first step is $325,000, And if there's no major involvement, then that's all that'll be used. It's used as you go type thing. 19 communities were asked and 11 have been approved. And so we're on that first part of the program. And the interesting thing is the contract is directly with the engineer. So it doesn't come through here, it goes directly with the engineer. And then in his line, he said there'll be very little involvement with our guys. I mean, probably have to help. But did you get anything from Ben about the actual program?
I haven't seen it.
I put in your, here's the overview of what it's all about. I put in your booklets. We've talked about this so often, I think you're pretty much aware, just so you could read and remember what it's all about. This is chemicals and farm, it's just all kinds of things that are coming into water systems. And so I gave you a little more information than what we'd had before. The towns right now, if you're interested, are Batesville, Clarks Hill, Delphi, Hobstad, LaCrosse, Leavenworth, Oxford, Rensselaer Water Department, Tell City, Warren Municipal, and Westport. So we're fortunate to be selected there, and over $1 million if we need it. So hopefully, I would say, hopefully we don't need it. So any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
I think we've talked about it for 2 or 3 years, so I think we're pretty well
Yeah.
aware of what's happening.
So that money doesn't come to us at all. So
No.
they're just coming and doing the work for us,
Right.
but it's not coming into our
Which is
system at
very
all.
nice.
Yes.
Very
We don't
good.
have to worry about tracking.
Very good. Yes. Nice to have that kind of relationship with the Indiana Finance Authority, that they even asked us, so that was good. Any other unfinished?
I have nothing.
Well, we sent a letter to ERA Railroad. I don't think I put it in your packet today. I'll send, it's just a simple letter saying, did I send it to you on email? Asking what their plans were to repair the crossings, and Steve signed it. It was just a letter saying you fixed the sidings and whatever, but we need some help. That was probably 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, have not received an answer. So when we receive an answer back, I'll shoot it to you if we do. But the one on Nancy Street, the pavement's even coming up. It's being pushed up out of the, what do you call it, the tracks. It's coming up. So I may even have Dustin take some pictures and send some pictures as a follow-up. Say, here's what we're talking about. Okay, then, any questions about that?
No.
Anything you want added to that?
No.
ERA Railroad, by the way, is in Bluffton, so it's not, before it was in Corydon, yeah. Employee hire, well, as Dennis reported, Austin did pass his physical. So I have the ordinance ready tonight for his pay. There were some questions at the last meeting, so I did do a little more work on the numbers that were given at the last meeting to clarify them. This is in approximately 4 months, depending on when I can get into academy. Did you check today?
No, I have not checked. I can't do anything until we have an actual hire date.
So, well, his actual hire date's the
We can do it that?
25th.
Okay.
25th. Anyway, we'll bring him up in line with the deputy in Roanoke, who has been there for 5 years. He currently makes $53,560, and he's been there 5 years. And the Andrews deputy's just been a little over a year, I think. Isn't that right, a year? I can't remember what Lori said. But, so it brings him up pretty close to that too. So it's right in line. And that would be to start at $24.10, which is where he is now, $2,000 to close the probationary period, and then 2,000 after Law Enforcement Academy. And then that doesn't take into account he would get the regular raise in January. So I'm going to submit this and ask that you consider a motion to adopt an ordinance at the same meeting of presentation so he can be paid when he starts.
I will make a motion.
Second.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to adopt this ordinance at the same meeting as introduction. Ron?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Did you say yes? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, Michelle?
Yes.
And Steve?
Yes.
All right, now need a motion to adopt this to set his beginning wage at $24.10 and his probationary period then will start. And have you set 60 days, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Ron Boxell.
I'll second.
And Michelle, you seconded? Okay, Ron?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
And Steve?
Yes.
Very good. Well, I talked to him today. I had an opportunity. He came to the office to hand in his probation, that he accepted the probationary period, and he's pretty excited, and I would say basically pretty thrilled to be coming to
Right.
town, and so it's good to visit with him.
I'm excited to have him.
He seems to be pretty level, and Dennis had
I spoke with some other officers that had worked with him in the jail, and they just come up to me and, because they seen he was testing, was with us, and just nothing but praise about him. They said he's,
and by the way, his name is Austin Oswald. We forgot to say who it is. I mean,
they said he's 21 years old. He's 21 years old, but one guy said he's been 21 years old like 5 years ago. He's really very mature for his age, more than any 20-year-old and some of them have ever could say. So
Yes. That's good.
Pole connections. This I just want to run by you is, Citizens Telephone is going to be removing all their cable lines. And as you know, we have cable lines with electric and we have electric with cable. And so Neil came in and presented a plan that as they're taking the cable down on the poles they have, if there's electric there, they would agree just to leave it there, to leave the electric there, and the town would just assume the ownership of that pole because they won't need it anymore. And then they wouldn't, every year they pay, it's called pole contacts. And for our poles that have cable on, they have to pay a pole contact, about $450 a year. So I said I would run it by you. I didn't see a problem with that. I don't know that Dustin and his group want to put a bunch of new poles in for, no.
You can just leave them.
Yeah, so if that's okay, just by consensus?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Any other new business? This is gonna be,
We're about setting a record here.
yeah, about setting a record here. Okay, claims register. You have your claims register in the amount of $381,013. This is actually pretty low. It has 2 payments to Wolverine for about $250 total. And I don't seem to have one here. Do I see?
Oh, sorry, I have the
No, that's okay. But the Wolverine is the big payment, and there was, a bond payment was made. U.S. Bank, $74,000, that's on a sewer bond. It's at the very last page at the bottom. So basically, that's the big expenditures for the month. Any questions about any of it? Pretty cut and dried, a lot of maintenance, payroll, that type thing. So is that by consensus, or do you want a motion? Consensus?
Consensus.
Everybody agreeing? Okay.
Good.
Financial reports I'm going to save to the budget discussion, if that's okay. The payroll allocation amount that you have for signing is $49,448.12 for the month of July. And that's in front of you. pretty standard. There was a little more overtime than usual, but some of that related to the festival. Basically the festival and then the water leak. So, pretty standard. Oh, hey, did you pass that ordinance around? Well, let's just finish this before I get into the budget discussion. I talked with the lady from 3A, the chances of being ready for next year are nil. I've not heard anything back from her since the last meeting. I've sent a couple emails and she just responded and said, we're not gonna be able to get it done. So I'm gonna work with her, I think, and come up with a new schedule for next year to make sure that we know. She never really has responded with what we should be doing. As I told you, she asked if the park board met, and I said the park board doesn't know what we don't know what they're meeting about. We don't understand what we're doing with this park plan. And she said she'd get back, but I have not heard back, so I'll still work on that. Now, I sent you preliminary budget information last week. So, here's the budget packet. Were there any questions on that? Did you read through it to see any?
I did, I didn't have any questions.
I didn't have any questions either.
Huh?
I didn't have any questions.
No.
As far
Really?
as,
Okay.
we had talked about, and I don't know, maybe this is supposed to be executive, so that's why I'm asking now. As far as pay for other employees and stuff, we had kind of mentioned that when we had done ordinances for like some of the office and utility employees, but have we considered like dentists and stuff? I know we had
It's
did
in
that
there.
be in
When
the
you look at
dentist.
the budget and you look
Okay.
at what was budgeted last year and what's budgeted this year, you would have seen that it's there. It's in there, but
So-
that's up to you guys to do that. That's outside the budget process.
Okay, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure we didn't need to do that before we set the budget, so that was the big thing.
I didn't because, I mean, I just made sure that next year there's enough. This year's budget's already set,
Okay,
so it's all for next year. So I made sure it's in there for next year.
okay.
I wanted to go through real quick, since it's a fast meeting, I don't want to bore you, but you understood, you saw the worksheet and everything, and I tried to get the assessed value of the town, and what I am planning to show as the ordinance shows a tax rate of $1.03. But I couldn't get the assessed value, the county has not certified the assessed value. So therefore, I don't know for sure what the tax rate is, but this is based on last year's assessed value. So as I told you earlier, I project it'll fall at least to 95 or 96 cents. You know, as you know, it's sent to the state, and I'm advertising over levy, and then they will cut that, but it will come out of your operating funds. It won't come out of the actual budget, because we work with operating funds. So you're all set with that. I did this to notice to taxpayers, just to show you a little clearer picture to understand. Some of these paperwork gets pretty involved to understand. So, and here is the second page. This is a screenshot, and then I wrote in. It shows you about what the tax rate figures out at now. Of course, the biggest tax fund we have is the general fund at 52 cents, almost 0.5209. And then motor vehicle highway comes in at, the levy for next year is 220,000 is what I put into that fund. This is pretty consistent with what's been done every year. We basically have that same break between general and motor vehicle highway. And then the cumulative fire fund, that's a state rated fund. So they'll take that rate, I advertise at 9,600 levy, and a rate of just almost 2 cents. They'll cut that to whatever this year it should be. Every year it's cut a little. And then the CCD fund is also a state-rated fund, and state-rated simply means you don't have any control what that rate is in that fund. You could budget $300,000 in that fund, but it wouldn't make any difference because they're only going to give you a specific rate, and every year the rate is adjusted. So this is based on what it was this year, basically, and I'm sure they'll be cutting that. The levy, as I said in your worksheet I sent you for next year, should be about $481,000. This year it was $462,000, and that is also controlled by the state. And we're have the lowest levy in the county of the towns, except Mount Etna, I'm sure. So, and that goes back to 1973. I mean, long story there, tax freeze. On that worksheet, there is a mistake. Well, here, I'm going to give this to you because I copied it on here. Well, wait a minute. Give me that one. You take that one. On that worksheet I sent you, in the middle it said levy divided by AV, which is assessed value equals the tax rate. And in the CCD, I only had 12,000, and that should be 25,000 there. It's just, I just typed in the wrong thing. I don't know where that came from. And we would be scheduled, and this is, as you've been warned on various sites and whatever, the legislature and governor opted to close out the local income tax funds. And as I talked with you last meeting, now is the time to start preparing for that. The town will lose approximately almost $400,000 is what we will lose if nothing is put back in its place. Right now, the bill reads that they'll all be done away with, and then the county would reset them. So you're at the mercy of the county, but they also have to have those funds. So, and these are local income tax funds. It comes right out of your paycheck. I mean, it's just automatic every paycheck. The biggest hit would be in our general fund, $223,000, and that's pretty major. When your levy is only 220, and then they're going to cut 223 out, you can see that the general fund's going to take a super big hit. When I had the meeting with the state this week, or last week, I mean, he said that they're looking at legislation that the cities and towns may be able to establish their own local income tax. I have not heard that on any of the websites. That would be tough, because that would mean everything would be different from, I don't know enough about it, but that's just what he told me then. No major problems. And another thing I wanted to bring up, the fire truck. We're caught in that thing now of if that chassis isn't purchased this year, those funds will have to be in next year's budget or encumbered. So to protect the fire truck, I put extra money into next year's budget. There's plenty of money there if you have to pay the whole thing. If the chassis doesn't come till next year, and then the fire truck's ready in a year. So that's covered. You got that, and that comes from general fund, from LIT money, the public safety fund, and from CCD, I think. But I think I guess I have that all there for you. Did anybody have any questions about that?
I have none.
And I used $500,000 for the truck because the company had already notified, and I sent you the letter that due to the tariffs and that the cost may just incrementally increase because of that. Okay, and then some of this, to look at the budget, let me get to the page here. There's, let me get here. A little more in depth is, these are the revenue funds that operate for what we call the general fund, which is motor vehicle, highway, and everything. And as you can see, there's various revenue. These are how many revenue accounts there are. So in doing the budget, I didn't copy it off, I can print out a revenue report and it shows what the first 6 months of this year brought in. And then next year's budget has to anticipate what will come in the second half of the year. And I try to be pretty conservative with that because you just never know what might happen. But I just thought you might be interested to see how many revenue accounts. There's a lot of accounting in there, in that each here wheel tax has to go into a special revenue fund or revenue account. And on top of that, you have 51. We have 51 funds altogether in the town, not all general funds. And on top of that, then, this is very trite to some of you people that are sitting there half asleep. Then we have what's appropriations, and this is how to determine working toward next year's budget. And this is up until August. It says through 12/31. I made the whole year, I don't know why. So what I do when you're looking at next year's budget is you look at the June, this isn't June, now this is August, or July, excuse me, July. I look at it and I say, okay, group insurance, when you go across, you can see that there's only 31% left there. And so I look out and I say, well, it's pretty safe, but with the new employee coming in, I didn't know for sure what that was gonna mean. But anyway, this is what I look at. It says, as of this date, this was end of July, this much was left. This percentage out here is what's left in it. That's what's left in each one of those appropriations. There's 251 appropriations in all the funds. And so when an invoice comes in, Dustin assigns it to a utility. I assign it in general fund or insurance or whatever. And then it has to fit in one of these categories. This goes along with what I sent you last week on the phases of the budget. I feel like I'm just, any questions here? I'm going pretty fast, but we've been through it before, but I just wanted to repeat it.
I think that's good. I think that's great.
And then I had sent to you this online that, and I put what the budget amount was in 2025 and what I projected in 2026. For instance, in the police department, I had $132,000 for this year, and for next year I have $150,000. So that more than takes care of. I did want to explain a little bit of what I told you about transfers. And on that worksheet, I said there's 4 categories in the budget. So when you look at this, well, here, take one, you might not have it with you. When you look at this, right here, it says personal services, that's category 1. And it comes that way in the budget. Category 2 is basically general supplies, general maintenance. Category 3 is outside services, attorneys, consultants, insurance, hydrant rental, comes out of general fund. And then category 4 is capital. And that's, well, they always defined it as something that will last more than a year. You usually think of it in terms of trucks and cars and that kind of thing. So when it comes time to the end of the year, if you recall, at the end of the year, I bring in this resolution and say I need to transfer. I can transfer in this, and I can transfer in the category 2, but I can't transfer between category 2 to category 1. And so I watch this budget carefully, the appropriation report, and try to always make sure that I know if I'm trying to think in category 1, well, let's use category 2. All of a sudden there was a big expense in maintenance, office maintenance. I can overspend that as long as I know I can keep money down here to transfer up to that within category 2. it's the total amount in that category that you have to watch.
Okay.
So if something, I remember several years ago now, a fire truck that had to do with Highline selling us a truck or whatever. And we could go ahead and do that because I knew I could transfer within the category 4 to cover the cost of that. So what I'm saying is when I'm looking at the appropriation report, I'm looking to see that if everything's getting close to 0, there's going to be a problem. Capital funds pretty much take care of themselves. Dustin has said he doesn't know a capital purchase next year, but there's always $100,000 in there for truck or loading equipment. Same thing for Dennis. So those are sort of there, and then there's a miscellaneous in capital just to take care of any emergencies. And you've seen all this and in the budget packet I sent. So also, one thing, and I see I didn't bring it, was the resolution to cut this year's budget to help cover next year's budget. And I heard and wrote it today, but I apparently didn't want you to see it, I guess. There's the ordinance. Here's a copy of the ordinance as it is now, but as I said, I didn't have the assessed value. So this is basically what the citizens, if they go online, would see. But this is just a draft. This is not the final. Because the AV, the assessed value, will determine the rate. And this advertised at $1.03, well, almost 4 cents. And it certainly won't be that when it's finished. I'm sure it's just moving all over. I guess I didn't, oh, here it is. Right now, and this won't be acted on until the budget's approved in October. Right now, here's what has to be cut from each fund to help support next year's. The biggest cuts are in Lowett Public Safety is moving forward from this year to next year, $150,000 for the fire truck. Motor the highway, $100,000. CCD, $100,000. That was for the park plan that never got planned. General fund, $250,000, and that includes some capital that didn't get spent. Again, this is a draft.
So can you clarify that again? You're saying these are the things that we're cutting, or no, these are the
These
things
things
we're
we're
getting?
cutting out of this year to move forward to next year.
Okay, not
to have the
cutting to get rid of, but
Right,
yes.
right.
Okay.
And seat it there, the representative of DLGF, we had a good laugh about that. Somehow last year, the seated fund went through that we were going to spend $700,000 in seated, which was a basic problem because we had $200,000 in the bank. It just slipped through. So you see here, I moved it down, seated, there's going to be $600,000 cut from this year's budget because it was never meant to be there anyway. And it was just some kind of glitch in there. I mean, 700,000, I don't know how that got there. So that's the way it goes. First I look at, first thing we have to do is send to the state the initial financial report. Then I have to prepare what's called miscellaneous revenue, and that's everything but property taxes. So I prepare all those worksheets. And then the next thing is to do, it's called the financial report, and that takes all that information, puts it into one report, and then you take that report and look at that and say, okay, we can cut this much from this year and move forward. And that's what I was explaining to you. So that's the third report. And then when all that comes out, and in there you put what you're going to reduce this year, and then what you think you have, what you need to spend for the rest of the year. And then that goes into what's called the line 4B. I can't think of the name, it's 4B. And that's when you decide the levies. Like, your levy is 480,000. Well, you could put a levy of 300 in the general fund and only 100 in motor highway. And that can always be changed as you go forward, but we've always run with tax rate and motor vehicle highway, so we can do paving and street work. So that's when you come out with basically the final budget's amounts. And then it goes into the ordinance. That was quick.
We've done it before.
Yeah, I know you've heard it before, but I need to hear it a little more in depth.
Hear it once a year, it's good.
And it's always, as many years as I've done it, when it's time to push that button, it's always like this. And, but I've learned that things can be fixed, like 700,000 in the seated fund. And that was a little shocking. But things can be fixed as long as we don't run out of money. And we're in good shape with that. I do just want to caution again, as moving forward the next few years is erring on the conservative side with spending till we find out.
I guess that was my one question, as you've mentioned that. Is there an area where you feel like we need to just straight cut? Like,
well, that's hard, and you
Yeah,
looked at them,
exactly.
and what do you want to cut? I mean,
Right.
Our budget is not a departmentalized budget, so it's pretty precise, and it says attorneys, consultant. I mean, you can look at that and see. One thing that won't be popular is the town of Warren's one of the few that still pays hydrant rental through our general fund. Doesn't mean it comes out of tax money, but it comes out of the general fund, and that's 50,000 a year. That's the big amount that many towns and cities have already looked at and said, wait a minute. And that's state law that the town has to rent the fire hydrants from the water utility. It's just, you know, it's been that way forever. So the number of hydrants, and it's in our rate ordinance, how much we pay a hydrant to rent the hydrants from the water department.
doesn't that like contradict itself?
It just seems like it.
We're paying ourselves.
Yes, for the fire department that we're running, yeah.
It makes a lot of
but
sense.
things like
It's
that.
so political, you know? It really is.
Yeah.
And then you know, we've not gotten anywhere with comprehensive report, and I'm sure I'd like to see that done. That's what's got us to where we are now, is having everything planned out and having a consultant that says, okay, here's what you can do these next 10 years. This is what the forecast is. And I still hope to get something to him just to give you guys an idea.
Okay.
But that's good, very good question, is maybe you change the way you pay employees insurance. I mean, you just have to dig
Certain
into
things
it and see.
Okay.
Any questions from anybody out here? No questions from others?
No.
Why is that stunned look on your face, Barb?
Brings back a lot of memories for me.
It does. I didn't think about that. Of course, you went through this
Yes,
several times.
yeah.
It's, every year it's just a different, it's a different feel to do the budget every year. But thankfully, being conservative has helped a lot. And you're in pretty good shape for the next couple years, but I just worry going forward in 27, getting ready for 28, what may happen. Okay. I'm done.
Did you have anything? No, nothing today? Okay.
Marilyn, you don't have anything to say?
She's stunned. She didn't have a good meeting this morning.
Oh.
She did that.
We're still working on it.